All right, Team Talk Tuesday. We are excited to have you join us tonight. It is March 18th. We are going to start I want to give you a couple updates on what's going on now, and then I'm going to pass it to Barb, our speaker, and she's going to talk about events. It's going to be awesome. Um, so we have a lot going on right now. We are off to a really good start for March. I mean, I know we're halfway through the month, but it's really, really good. Everyone is loving the spring. Did you guys get that? You get to that point where your customers are just like ready for the next season, right? Like in region 1 and region 2, they're ready for spring summer. In region 3, they're ready for autumn winter. All the things, right? And orders just start like showing up, like on your PWS, on all the things. So people are ready to party. It's good. But this week we also had the Easter collection drop. Tell me in the chat, not just one of you, tell me in the chat what was the most popular product in the Easter collection for you. I was really surprised. Mine were buddies, and I didn't see that coming. That's usually not what is the most popular for me. So I was really surprised. We've got the Easter collection. Also, the cause warmer finally was available as of yesterday. So that's exciting. If you are not promoting that, like now is the time, friends. You want to definitely be promoting that. We got that joint special. The joint special is really good this month. So make sure that you are having those conversations. And the whiff box has got those awesome 5-cup samples in there. And someone asked me earlier today, they said, but what 5 are they? They're random. You don't know what you're going to get. So you could get 2 whiff boxes and have the same or have totally different ones. We are halfway through March, which means we are halfway through our first month of the bingo incentive. How are you doing on bingo? Tell me in the chat how you're doing on bingo. And I think we should decide what square we're going to crush this week. So maybe in the chat, drop what you think we should work on this week. Okay, can you think about the power if we all collectively were working on laundry or clean or those pods or the whiff box or whatever. Like there's a lot of power in that, right? A lot of idea sharing. And then the other thing I want to tell you is I've heard in the last couple weeks some really good reviews of people who've been showing up on the Scentsy Spark sessions. And just a reminder where you find that. If you want to sign up for them, you can go to the Scentsy Family Consultant Facebook page. And it's like pinned to the featured section at the top is a Calendly, I don't think I said that right, link where you can sign up. And they have them most days. So there's tons of times. There's multiple topics to choose from. So show up and learn. They're so great. All right. What else do we have? Anything else I missed, you guys? Anything going on that I forgot about? Oh, you got 2 days left to register for the incentive trip. If you're an incentive trip earner, make sure that you register for the incentive. If you don't register, you default to SFR. So if that's not what you want, make sure that you register. Okay. Well, make sure you register either way, but make sure you register. All right. Let me see the chat and then I'm going to pass it on. Oh, Amy's knocked off 10 blocks right now. All right. Caitlin says we should focus on sponsor and the promote squares. And let me tell you why I think this is a really good month to focus on the sponsoring and the promotion squares. Okay. We've got that join promotion that's really, really good. Also, new catalog always means higher sales. So there is a better chance that people are going to promote this month. So you have everything going in the direction, the momentum going in the direction you want it to. So I agree with you 100%. Others said in the chat, we should work on the clean products and the laundry products. And those are really great too, because those are products that, well, laundry is a gateway product for us. Like you try laundry, you're hooked. But those bring in some nice PRV as well. So, all right. Fantastic. All right. Let me go ahead and start. Let me make you big on the screen, Barb. I'm sure you're going to love that, right? There you go. All right. I'm excited. We have Barb with us and she is going to talk about events. And we chatted just a little bit yesterday. And I know you love small events, right? Which
yes,
I don't know how to do small events. I only know how to do large events. And I've always wanted someone like, if I have a 3 to 4 hour small event, I still think I should take in as much stuff as I should take to a county fair. So I'm excited to hear what you have to say and to learn from you, because that is certainly not my strength, but there's so much value in them, right? So the floor is yours. And if you guys have questions as she's talking, go ahead and drop them in the chat. And then time permitting at the end, we will answer them.
Okay, I am quite honored to be on this call tonight. Well, I'm part of Jess's team, and I tend to think that I'm not worthy of this. I think you guys are a bunch of geniuses here. So I'm a little nervous. I've done this training before, but I'm cutting it shorter. I do small events. My small events are from 3 to 5 hours long. Most of the time, they're 3 hours long. This week, I have 4 events, 3 hour long events. From start to finish, set up to done. It's a little like 4.5 hours. The smaller, the better. The less things that I have to schlep, the better. The longer I've been doing Scentsy, I am a superstar consultant. I've been with Scentsy for 3 years. When I started, I saw a glance when I did my launch party of how successful this would be for me. So I decided to do events. And I wanted to do, the tractor trailer events, bring, rent the motor home kind of thing. But then the first time I put a tent up, it took all the joy out of me. So I decided that I was going to stick with small events. But when I first started, I had a hard time finding events. So you gotta, at first you gotta kind of, dig and stuff like that. And then once you find, you get in your little niche, you're good. You have to, I do events to meet people and for the long-term relationships. It's not for sales. Sales are gravy. I am a salesperson now. I can sell anything. But I try to build the long-term relationship, try to have the Scentsy spirit in my booth with my customers, with other vendors, with the vendor coordinator, with the janitor, with whoever walks by is going to get Barb's Scentsy spirit. So, at my events, I do sell a lot of items, and and when I first started, I used to bring a lot of stuff. I felt like I needed 50 warmers, and I've kind of condensed way down, and I have the wax there. I try to carry one of every bar of wax that we carry, depending on how busy the event is, if to how much wax I have, but I keep my warmers down to a minimum, and I sell out of my catalog because that brings me PRV. So I try to, gauge that at different events. I do have stock, but I just don't want to schlep everything. So what I do events for is to get the contacts. With my events, I do small events, 3 to 5 hours. My smaller events, like the ones I'm doing this week, are 3 hour, like probably maybe 100, 200 people at these events. They're private, rich communities. So I'll bring my little notebook. And when someone walks in my booth, I get their information whether they buy from me or not. Hey, how you doing? Have you heard of Scentsy? Go through the whole spiel. Oh no, I don't like candles, or I don't like soap or whatever. And I say, oh great, because we're not candles. And I tell them all about Scentsy. And then I ask them, kind of chit chat with them, feel them for a few minutes. And then I say, would you like to be on my exclusive VIP list? I send out monthly specials and make different announcements on my exclusive VIP list. Would you like to be on that? 9 times out of 10, yes, I do. So I get their name and number and I put it on my little thing and make them feel special. I write little notes, whether they buy anything or not. My screen keeps going dark, so I keep hitting it. So that's how I collect my customer information. It's intimate. I'm not sitting behind my booth. I am standing up in front of my booth. I also have back problems, so I have a director's chair, and I will sit in that or lean on the director's chair. And when somebody walks up, I will stand up. Don't fold your arms because that just shows I don't care. I don't care. I don't want to meet you. So, that's how I approach my events. I treat everyone, like I said, everyone I meet like they're a new boyfriend or girlfriend with the Scentsy spirit. It has come back tenfold to me. Um, when I do my events, all you need is a tablecloth that goes to the floor. Please make sure it's cloth. Plastic tablecloths are very tacky, and it shows that you're not professional and you don't care. You don't need big elaborate signs. All you need is one little table runner that Scentsy used to sell. They don't sell them anymore, but you can find them on Etsy, super cheap. Tablecloth, super cheap on Amazon, that says Scentsy. You don't need your name and your telephone number. People aren't gonna write all that information down. Um, so you need that. You need a square. You need, I am a firm believer that you have to have your fragrances. If you don't have wax, if you can't afford wax, bring your testers. Have your testers set up nicely, not just a big blob of testers. Have them separated out into different things. Explain to people that you want to rub the testers so you can get the smell going. Um, so you just need your testers, orders forms, business cards. Firm believer of business cards. I make samples. I can do 40 little flakes of wax, just cutting up my wax in one bar. You don't need, I used to do molds and, all kinds of fancy stuff. And I realized none of that is necessary. You're going to find that a few doors down in the garbage. So I try not to give away my catalogs. I have catalogs open on my table. This week, I will bring a few warmers, a few mini, few big. I'll have the catalog strategically open to certain pages because I'm working with certain communities. Know your area where you're working. You want to sell to your customers. You don't want to have the farmhouse stuff open in a high-end community that these ladies have their houses decorated with seashells. Um, Now, I also tell them that we do have stuff like that because some of them have grandkids and kids and so on and so forth. Know your products, know your customers, know your fragrances. Try to smell all your testers. I try to know what all my wax smells like. When it comes out, I order all the wax. I smell it all, make sure I know. So when a customer tells me, I'm looking for something a little coconutty, okay, I can point them right exactly where it is. So you don't need a lot of things for your events. Very, very frugal, cheap, and expensive. Now, building your stock for your events. You want to start with your wax. Build your wax stock first. Then bulbs, light bulbs. You don't need 10,000 light bulbs. You don't need every color in the rainbow. Just one set of bulbs for each wattage. Then you'll bring in your mini warmers and then your big warmers. You do not need a ton of stuff. You don't need a ton of stuff. But the wax is the most important. I sell 30 to 50 bars of wax at every event I do. And I do little teeny old lady 3-hour events. I'm very passionate about our wax. I love it. I think it lasts long. I go to town. I just tell them all. I throw up all over these people and I end up having like an infomercial at my booth talking about the wax, and all of that's so expensive. Oh, no, no, it's not. And I say, the jar candle at a store, I never say the store. I, compare it to that. I say, this is about 150 hours. Oh my goodness, so you want to know your product and so on and so forth. So you build your wax, then you build everything else. You don't need a ton of counter cleaner and washer whiffs and all of that. If you feel you can sell that kind of stuff, go right ahead. I have certain products that I sell the daylights out of. Wax, warmers, fragrance flowers. I put them in a cute little bag, make them up cute. And I do my mini fan diffusers, put them in a suitcase, sell the daylights out of all that. I don't bring washer whiffs. I don't have counter cleaner. I don't bring any of that stuff. So simple. Most of the time, it's a 6-foot long table. and you can get the same job done as you can with 5,000 things. So, as far as financials go, financials are really, I'm just getting a text in. Can you guys hear me okay?
I can totally hear you. Well, now I
Okay.
can't, but I could hear you. Yep. 100%.
Okay. As far as financials go, a lot of training does not give you training on financials. I am a money person, so I want to make money when I'm doing my events. And you can make money doing small events, okay? Um, you can sell whatever it is. First of all, I don't spend over $50 for an event. I just don't do it. People spend hundreds of dollars. I think that's wonderful. That's not me. It gives me a heart attack to spend a lot of money on events. I do have a few bigger events that I do that I spend money on, and that I do about 5 of those a year, and they're like 6 to 8 hours long, and that's my max. But I just don't get to spending a lot of money on fees and stuff like that. So my events is a separate account, and all my event funds go in there. Anything I make from an event goes in there. Anything I need to purchase for an event goes out of there. If I need to pay a fee, it comes out of that account. It's all in that account. So I keep all the funds together. And how I do it is I purchase my wax only. Everything else is got I get with Hostess Rewards. And if I feel I need a licensed warmer that I feel will sell, I will purchase that as well. But I've gotten to the point where I don't purchase a lot of licensed warmers because a lot of them don't sell. So I purchase wax, licensed products only. Everything else I get with Hostess Rewards comes out of that event account. If I don't have the funds in the event account, that's that's my bank right there. That's where I'm working from. I'm not borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. This is where it's coming from. So my wax will get me my monthly PRV and everything, but everything just gets rolled back in, and eventually you do make, profit and stuff like that. So that's how I do my financials, how I find my events. When I first started Scentsy, I called like 10 different people, emailed like 10 different people. And we have somebody, we have a lady, we work with a lady. We already have a Scentsy lady. And I was like, oh, okay. I write it down. Next month, I'm going to email them again. And if I don't hear back from them in a day or two, I'm going to re-email them, and I'm going to email them every day until I hear back from them. So your name will get out there, and you will find a way. But if you have to have the mindset, and you have to have a strong why, and that's going to boost you finding events. If your why is something that's meaningless and your mindset is not strong enough, you're going to quit after the first person that tells you no. Well, let me tell you, I was told no a lot. So I just kept calling, kept emailing, kept texting, kept over and over and over. Finally, I got an event in my first 3 months of being a consultant. I got an event. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's not a really good event," and I was like, "I don't care. I'm still gonna do it." Okay. For me, there's no such thing as a bad event. I've had events where I haven't sold nothing, where nobody showed up. But on the way home in the car ride, I'm going to find somebody to be a new customer of mine. I'm going to stop at the gas station. I'm going to talk to people in the store. I'm going somewhere to meet someone if my event stunk. If my event stunk, it's my fault. I got to find that customer, even if it's just one. So you have to have the mindset to do this. So eventually, my first events of my first year and a half with Scentsy were an hour and a half or further away, and they weren't great events. But I showed my Scentsy spirit. I had a great setup. I was very meticulous about my setup. I take pride in it, and I talk to everyone. And now I have to turn away events. because all those vendor coordinators, all of those people that I vended with events with are referring me to people. Oh, I know that she's wonderful. She's great, sensey lady, blah, blah, blah. She's fun. She's great, whatever. So, which is put a lot of heart and soul into it. So it's a wonderful thing. If you have that sensey spirit, they're going to remember you. I know 10 people that sell Tupperware. I know one lady that is like Wendy Heath Newgas to Tupperware. And I refer every single person I know to her because of her spirit. And she's not my closest friend, but I love her. And she does events with me, and we love to be next to each other and have a little contest on who can get most information on people. And, we do stuff like that. So be good to everyone around you, spread your sensey spirit, and I promise you that it will come back to you in tenfold. So finding vendor events, you will look on Facebook events, you will look in your area on Facebook. I live in Southwest Florida. I pull up Southwest Florida vendor events. There are millions of groups in your area. Look up your state. Be willing to travel. Nothing is going to be down the street from your house, okay? You're going to have to be willing to travel, have the mindset, have the gusto to go. I do events by myself. My first event putting the tent up was a disaster. But now I'm able to do it. I do it all by myself. My husband showed me how to do it, put the tent up. I do it. I have fun. I offer to help other people. If there's stragglers at the end of the event, I offer to help them. It just goes a long way if you do that. So just look, and if people say no, keep on asking. Keep on asking. There's an event that I wanted to be in so bad, and I reached out to this lady. Oh no, I've had her for 5 years. She's not going anywhere, and I'm not going anywhere either. And I said, would you just please take my name and number? And that way, if anything were to ever happen and you need someone to fill in real quick, you'll have my number. Sure enough, 2 weeks later, she called me and said, my girl moved to Virginia. I need a Scentsy person. So encourage them to do that. Encourage them to take your name. Encourage them to, if you decide an event is not for you, see if somebody in your downline or somebody you can refer someone to your event. So that's how I do. I don't take no for an answer. And so how do I find events? Okay. Um, you want to build a long-term relationship. You want your booth neat and organized. You do not want it set up like a garage sale. I'm telling you, everyone knows Barb Bruno's setup is meticulous. And the lady that I'm doing events for this week, she has high-end communities. She had two other Scentsy ladies that don't sell for her anymore because she didn't like their setup. She's like, I have to have neat. I can't have looking like a garage sale. And she said, I try to help them and offer them help, but she said, I just can't do it. So make your stuff. We sell a wonderful product. Make it look good. Make it look good. You don't need to spend a lot of money. Um, no clutter. You want to have everything hidden under your table. Nobody wants to see your food that you're eating for lunch, wires, anything like that. You want to keep all of that hidden. Also, always offer to, oh, I can ship that to you. Don't hone in on the shipping fee. Just say, I can ship that to you. Act like there is none. People will have you ship stuff to them. I do locals, I do delivery. Also, I was looking at my notes here. When I take people's information down, I send them a thank you text. I do not send 500 thank you texts with the same thing in them. I have really I used to do bulk texts. I don't do that anymore. I've noticed my business has changed when I started personalizing my texts. Writing a note, oh, did you find the cucumbers you were looking for at the market you were at on Saturday? I hope you did. It was so nice to meet you, blah, blah, blah. You got a relationship there. That means you care. So even though it's a tiny little event, you still can build lifelong, and people talk. Lifelong relationships. Know what we sell. You do not want to be taking movies or photos of your booth at an event. Even at a small event, you don't want to give off the that we carry a lot of stock, and that if they want to sign up for Scentsy, they got to have all 900 bars and 15 warmers. It's against compliance, and it doesn't look good to post that. I used to take pictures of my stuff and post it, and somebody told me that. I was like, oh, thank you for telling me that. I never thought of that. So just remember your why you're doing for Scentsy. And if it's not strong enough, find a strong why as to why you're going to be told no, that this event's full and we don't need you and whatever. Make sure your why, make sure your mindset, and make sure you treat everyone with a Scentsy spirit. I really, really recommend that. I'm going to share a little story and then I'm going to let you guys, I'm going to end this. But my daughter passed away at the end of January. And my business had to take a little back burner. Um, and it probably will be for a while, but it had to take a little back burner. Well, I decided I wanted to do this fundraiser event for this dog rescue that I work with hand in hand. So I went to the fundraiser, and I wasn't in the mood for it. I still am not in the mood to do events, but I know this brings me joy, so I got to do it. So I went to this dog fundraiser event, and I was there and I pasted on the smile, and everyone was chit-chatting. Some people knew, some people didn't. Some people knew but didn't want to say anything. So at the end, the lady that was in charge of the dog fundraiser came up to me and she said, "Oh, I want to buy some stuff out of the new catalog. Do you have it?" I said, I do." So I got it out. I was all excited. She's like, "I want one of those cute little hang up things, the buddies, the buddy clips." So I said, "Oh my God, we got this cute little cow." So I was showing her it. She goes, "The only thing is the scent runs out." So she, I told her, get some room spray and you can just gas it up again. There you go. So she's like, "Oh my God, oh my God." So she hands me this envelope, and I said, "Okay, I'm going to order it for you, whatever." I get out to the car and I was like, this envelope is just packed full of money. So I get out to the car, I count it because I wanted to make sure she didn't overpay me. And she had given me a large amount of money. And I went in there, I said, I think you gave me the wrong envelope. This isn't that much, it's only, it was like less than $30. And she said, "We took up a collection for your daughter." She said, "You've done a lot for us and you're always spreading sunshine all over the place. And we just love having you, and all the vendors and everyone just loves you. And so it pays to have your Scentsy spirit and not sit there behind your desk looking at your phone. Stay off your phone, keep your arms not folded, and talk to people." That's what it means. And I talk to people. "Oh, you look great today. Oh my gosh, I love your hair. I love your earrings," whatever. Find something to be nice to somebody about, because whether they buy from you or not, they're going to remember you. So this is a testament to that. They want me to do another big fundraiser for them next month. Just she's like, "If you're up to it." I said, "Oh, I'm always up to doing Scentsy. I love Scentsy." So it really meant a lot to me to have a customer raise money for me. I was like, I didn't feel comfortable because I was like, you have a rescue that you got animals that are really struggling, that you're struggling to raise money for. And, I feel funny taking this. And she said, "I'll be offended if you don't take it." So spread your Scentsy spirit, and just keep it simple. You don't need to be fancy. Keep it simple. If you ever have any questions or anything like that, always reach out to me. I'd love to hear about your adventure. If you decide you want to do an event, if you need any advice or whatever, just holler. I'm here. Thank you.
Um,
Thank you, Karen.
so you said, I'll take the spotlight off you, but you mentioned you were nervous, but that might have been the most comprehensive, best event training I've ever heard. That was fantastic. So you did, that
Oh,
was
thank you.
incredible. Incredible. So good. Like you covered all the things, right? I mean, even the financials, like even the fact that it all goes into one bank account and that you buy the bars and maybe a licensed product, but everything else, like so good, Barb. Really, really good. And I think you answered all the questions. If anyone has a question, will you drop it in the chat? But I know you covered some of them. I did not grab my notebook, but I wrote like all these. I just kept grabbing another piece of paper as I said at the beginning, like I don't know how to do small events, so I'm like I was taking all the notes because I needed to learn. So and how impressive that you have 4 of them this week. That's you know we were talking on my leaders lounge last night about taking massive action, right? And that to me is like a testament to massive action. Like you are getting out there and meeting people and your mindset is 100% in the right place. Like the sales are great, you're not going to turn them down, but it's about the relationships and meeting people, and that is so spot on for growing a long-term sustainable business, right? And I was just, it was fantastic. So good, so good. So thank you. We really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. We really appreciate it. And how thoughtful that they took up that collection. Like how beautiful is that? I
Yeah, I
had
was
I
pretty
had a
shocked.
I know it's shocking, right? And I'm kind of like you. I'm a giver, not a taker, and so that's hard for me. But I had someone say to me once, like, if you don't accept the gift when someone gives it, like you are shorting them of the opportunity to be givers. And that's
Yeah.
like it's not just about you, it's about how they feel being able to do that for you too. So really, really
Yeah.
beautiful. I love it. Let's see. I do events, but I learned a bunch. Yeah, Amy, I did too. Like so good. Because and I honestly like I would hate to admit it, but like I wouldn't say I turned down small events, but I don't look for small events because I truly feel like I only know how to do like the 18-day county fair, right? Or that like the large event. But this was so helpful. Do you I saw someone asked, you talked about like the order that you buy things, like you're going to buy the bars and then you're going to take the light bulbs and then the mini warmers and then you talked about the I'm going to still call them the mini fan diffusers, the solos, right? And that kind of thing. Do you take like a Sensi Air quad or an air purifier? Do you have that kind of thing on display?
I have my what blows. I used to have a warmer with wax, but I don't do that anymore. I have the Sensi Quad that blows the fragrance into my booth. So, and I do sell probably one like every other event
That's incredible.
because of that.
Now,
Because I always find a fragrance that is gonna like knock someone's socks off. And oh, what is that? I'm like,
so
it's
what
this
is your
little
go-to
guy right
fragrance?
here.
What is your go-to
Yeah.
event fragrance? Do you have like a signature fragrance you
I
warm?
actually lately have been using the Johnny Appleseed,
That's a good
and
one.
it has
Strong.
been very popular.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good
but I'm
one.
looking to branch out a little bit more. But right now it's been Johnny Appleseed, and people are loving it.
So if I came up to you in your booth and I was a customer and I wanted that Sensi the quad, would I be able to take that cash and carry, or would you order that from the catalog for me?
I can order you a brand new one and send it directly to your house. I don't talk about the shipping fees and the taxes and all that. When they ask me the price, I tell them 115 and I always give a pod pack with it.
Yeah,
So,
so
so
good.
yeah.
So good. So good. Um, I would love, I know you said you don't post pictures of your events. If you this week, this is me personally, this is my personal request. I would love to see how you set up a 6 foot table for this. So like, I would love to just a visual of it. Um,
Sure.
yeah, but that was really I mean, you even covered like what you can't do. Like you don't want anyone getting in trouble because they're posting their booth that they have stock. You can show a static display of, it used to be 10, I don't know what the rule is today, but it used to be 10 items or less. Or you could pan really quick as long as they can't see what the product is, but it's not worth the compliance risk. You don't want, I know they're there to educate first, but it's just really not worth it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
Plus, for me, it gives people that are gonna thinking about joining, oh, I got to do it like that, you know,
yep,
that
yep,
scares people off.
yeah, absolutely. And like I think about that with a party. Um, and I want to walk into a party with one bag of stuff because I don't want someone to think I could not be a consultant because I've got to schlep all this in. And so it's really good perspective too, because you do recruit out of events, right? Like,
Yeah,
because you do set next what you show sets an expectation in their minds of what a successful consultant looks like, right? Um, I love it. Um, do you so how do you follow up? So you text them like a personalized text or a follow up personalized, and I love that because that's relational, right? That's not transactional. Um,
yeah.
and then do you do a lot of like the same events year after year, or like if you were going to an event on Saturday that you had been at last year, do you track who your customers were at that event last year? Do you reach out to them, or do you just, you're going to go and meet everyone and have a great time? And
I, my memory, a lot of my memory goes, I know, okay, so and so's in this community, she needs to know I'm coming over there. But usually I send a little newsletter via email to let everyone know, let all the little old ladies know I'm coming to their community.
I love that.
So usually that's what I do is I let everybody know that way. And um use a cardboard beverage container to transport your personal.
Oh, your
I
fragrance
didn't.
flowers. So like your
Yes.
fragrance flowers are open so that you don't ruin your
Yes.
exterior. Yes, that's so
Yes.
good.
Yes. I put mine in little Ziploc bags and carry them in a little baggie. But yeah, I usually let them know via like a calendar on my you know, email, or a lot of people follow me on Facebook. They see it there. I put my monthly calendar there and stuff like that. I've had to back off, and a lot of people thought, "Oh my God, what happened?" And then they were like, "Yeah." And I usually do a lot of events, but I'm backing off to because I need to be, on the
Yeah,
home front. So
Listen,
yeah,
when she says like a lot of events, like we're talking like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like she is going all the damn time doing an event.
but
So
that's a
the
massive
fact,
action we're talking about, right?
listen, yes, and I will say when her daughter had passed away and she was telling me like, I don't think I'm going to do this event, and it kind of shocked me, but I'm glad that she was listening to herself,
Yeah,
right? So,
absolutely.
and I think she's gonna keep on doing this, like going on and on and on and on, and she keeps going to so many.
Well,
yeah,
I was listening to something the other day, and well, and I've heard it over and over, but like success loves speed, right? Like the busier you are, you build momentum, and if you're slow with it, you lose momentum. And so, if you want to build and you want to grow, then that's exactly the way to do it. And like I'm sure every event, okay, when I say isn't a win, I don't mean like, because you point blank said you determine your success, right? You like it. If the event isn't good, it's up to you to make it good. But if you're if you're booked for multiple things, then you have a better chance that something's going to be a slam dunk, right? The other thing that I really loved, and then yes, Amy will take a picture. I need someone to volunteer to take our picture. Who's it going to be? Drop in the chat if you're going to do that. Otherwise, I'll volunteer you. How about that? Okay. Um, the other thing that I love that you said is like know your community, know like who the clientele is going to be, because that is really, really important. Otherwise, you get there and you don't have the right setup or the right decor. Like, I lived in I came from a community before in South Carolina that was it was a it was a very affluent community. There was a lot of, and in some ways some of our products were not expensive enough. And so how I marketed our products and what I marketed really mattered. Like you wouldn't think but so I love that you said like, know your community, know if they have, what their decorating style is, right? Is it the farm and the country, or is it, the coastal, the beach? Is it the, is it the plant warmers? Is it the higher end? I love that. So good. Okay. Okay. Tiffany's going to take our picture. I'm going to stop the recording.